Woo! Okay, hopefully you can hear me over my fan, but it's really hot. I need the fan on. Okay, so you'll notice as I talked about in class that I've highlighted the different pieces that are necessary. So the first thing that they tell us, I want that a little bit darker. The first thing that they tell us is that for this parking garage, there's a flat rate, right? It's $10 if you park there for an hour or less. Okay, the second thing that they tell us is that you're going to pay that $10 and an additional $6 charge for the second hour. Okay, so now I'm up to $16, right? But oh, yep, having a good time at the beach, so I stay yet one more hour. I'm up to 3 hours. So it's $4 in addition to what I've previously paid for that third hour. And then I'm going to pay on top of that an additional 4 hours for every hour until I'm paying $32. At that point, I can park there for up to 24 hours because you can't go past. So we know that there's that limit. Okay. All right. So then A, B, C, and D are just asking us to calculate the time, the money spent based off of certain specific times parked there to help us figure out what this function is going to look like. Okay. 45 minutes is under an hour, so I'm paying that flat rate of $10. Well, 1 hour and 30 minutes, okay, I have an hour plus whatever I'm paying into that second hour. So it was 10 plus an additional 6, so I'm paying $16 for 4 hours. Okay, so I'm going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. The yellow highlighter tells me I paid $10 for the first hour, 6 for the second, 4 for the third, and then 4 more for the fourth. So I am at $24 for 4 hours. The 10 hours, well, we know that we've already paid $24 for the first 4 hours, right? So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, so I remember. And then 6, 7, 5, 6. Wait a second. It's $4 for every additional hour. If I can max out at $32, I'm at that $32 just for parking for 6 hours. So if I'm there for 10 hours, I pay $32. How do we put this into a piecewise function? Well, let's do it together. All right, for the first hour, we're going to pay $10. Okay, and that's when, and let's set X just to be the number of hours we park, anywhere from 0 to an hour, right? And I'm not going to say equal to 0 because it doesn't make sense for us to pay if we don't park, right? Okay, so then for the second hour, we pay that original 10 plus the 6. So I'm going to say $16 from 1 hour to 2 hours. Actually, let's do, no, that's good. Okay. And then we're going to pay an additional $4 for the third hour. So if we add that to the previous, we end up with $20 if we park between 2 to 3 hours. And I don't have the equal to here because it says specifically an additional $6 charge, the blue, yeah, is added for the second hour. Okay, so then an additional $4 until the cost reaches $32. So then I'm going to pay $24 if I park between 3 to 4 hours, and then $28 if we park between, and we're just increasing 4 to 5. And then I hit that max number of 32. So if we park anywhere between 5 and 24 hours, and it has to max at 24 because, again, it says parked more than 24 hours, your car is going to get towed. Okay, so there is the function. I have already graphed it. You'll notice that it looks like a step function, but is it a greatest integer? No, it's not, because there isn't a consistent bar length, all because of that last one. Yeah, so no, and we can say not a consistent, or not a constant, not a consistent bar length. We could make an argument that it is a piecewise greatest integer. I mean, it is a piecewise, but for a greatest integer to exist, it has to have the same length of the steps. And then domain and range 0 to 24, because after 24 hours, our car's getting towed. Okay, hopefully that helps with the first one. Let's take a look at the second one. Okay, so Lisa starts babysitting at 4. That's her ground zero, right? And she makes $8 an hour babysitting before midnight. Okay, then after midnight, she makes $10 an hour. What does Lisa make if she works until 10? Well, if she's working from 4 to 10 p.m., right, we've got 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. We've got 6 hours that she's making $8. Okay, so you could do those little lines, or you could just do 8 times 6. So she's going to make $48. Way to go, Lisa. Now, if she's working up until 12 a.m., so 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., well, now she's working 8 hours because it's not stopping at 10 like we saw before. So $8 for 8 hours, she's going to make $64. What if the little kiddo that she's babysitting, the parents want to stay out a little bit later? They're having a good time at dinner. They're hanging out with some friends. Well, we have to break this up because now we go past the midnight, right? So the first set is up until midnight. And then she works from 12 to 1 and 1 to 2. So for 2 additional hours, she's going to make $10. So now she's making $84. Way to go, Lisa. So how do we put this into a piecewise function? The first part, she makes $8 an hour. And yeah, we'll have hours be the input. From the first, right, we're not going to say 0 because she's not going to get paid for not being there, up until midnight. So 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and so forth. That means she can make up to 8 hours. The second part is where she starts to make more than $10, or more than 8. She makes 10, right? So we have to account for the fact that those first 8 hours, she made $8. And then she's going to make $10 for every hour beyond the 8. And we have to include the X minus 8 because let's say she works, 10 hours, right? Like we saw up here. She's not going to make $10 for those 10 hours. She makes $8 the first 8 hours, and then she makes $10 for every hour beyond the initial 8. So that's where this comes in. We account for everything beyond the initial 8. Now this is for X being greater than 8 hours. You could also write it, if you wanted to, 64 plus 10. We could put this into slope-intercept form, which on the note key is what I did on the side. It doesn't matter, honestly, which one you use. This one's a little bit cleaner. Not as much going on. But just so you know where it comes from. And then graphing it, I did the top equation in blue and then the bottom one in purple just to keep everything consistent. Sweet. And there it is. You should absolutely label your X and Y axes. I definitely did not do that, and that is not good. Whoopsies. So please make sure you do that. Okay, hope this helps you guys.